Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm Kathy, and to all my new subscribers, check out my shirt. I really like it, especially when people say, oh, you really like Coca-Cola. I'm like, no, I don't drink that. But anyways, and then they realize what it says. Love it. So I wanted to do a short video on what not to say to someone who's grieving. And this is just my opinion, and I'll give a trigger warning. This might be upsetting to people. It might be triggering. I get it. I completely understand. That's why I wanted to talk about it, do probably a short video. And this is just my experience. Other people might be the exact opposite and think, no, that's not what I would want at all, or I would want them to say this and not say this over here, which everyone can help each other in the comments section, with other ideas, suggestions, gentle things maybe to say and do if you're grieving, if something just happened. So with me, when my mom passed, it was really, 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 really hard. And so what I learned from it, one of the things, which I've learned a lot over the years, was that people would say, all with the best of intentions, they would say, call me if you need anything, let me know if you need anything, I'm here if you need anything. And so for me, it was more, I had no energy. I had no motivation for me to reach out, and I needed them to come to me. And some people did. They would reach out to me and say, hey, I'm on my way over, or I'm bringing you this, or let's go to lunch, let's go to coffee, let's go to the mall and walk around, let's go for a walk down your street, come over and I'll make you lunch, whatever it was. So I needed people to take that step towards me because I didn't have it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I could barely get through each day without having to go forward and be like, hey, so-and-so, when are you free? Let's hang out. I really need some company, or whatever it was. And like I said, this is just me. Other people might say, no, I do not want someone to be, putting themselves out, like coming into my space and saying, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. Someone might say, let me reach out, and if I need your help, I will reach out. But for me, I was like, I had nothing in me to do that. So I needed the person to reach out and come to me. So hopefully that makes sense. And I see posts all the time, and like if someone has lost someone, there's been a death in the family, whatever it is, then there's tons of comments, condolences and all that, which is great. And a lot of them do say, let me know if you need anything. I'm here if you need anything. Let me know if I can do anything. And I just think my experience is like, oh my gosh. But maybe that person would reach out and they were in that space to be able to say, hey, yeah, I do need this, that, or this or that. And also when I've seen maybe a friend of mine, and it doesn't even have to be a close friend, just a friend, I will reach out. Maybe several friends of mine, their moms passed pretty soon after mine did. So I knew, what that was like, especially if they were close to him, and I could tell, I knew their relationship with them just from the posts and knowing them since I was a lot younger and even a kid. And I knew that it was going to be hard, so I would send them a private message, and sometimes we would conversate back and forth, and they would be like, oh my gosh, they're going through all this stuff, and I would say, well, here's what helped me, maybe finding a therapist, a counselor, talking to friends, like I said, meeting up with someone, going for a walk. That's what helped me, is just talking, getting it out, hearing other people's experiences. And yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. And again, it's just a personal experience, a personal preference, I guess you could say. And that was just that situation. Maybe other situations I might feel different, but I know that one, that's how it was. And so I would have to turn around and, reach back out if I really needed something from someone. And like I said, most of the time I didn't even have it in me. So the people who reached out to me and came to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to grasp onto you. And they were awesome. And they still are very close Christian friends. Yeah, that most of them that I can think of. So that's just food for thought. It maybe if this might speak to someone, if you have a close friend who just lost maybe a family member or whatever's happened, and you're reaching out, and maybe if you really want to check in with them, send a private message and just say, hey, I can bring over a meal for the family. I can bring your favorite coffee over. Do you want to go get pedicures? Do you want to just sit in front of, the TV and watch some mindless movies? All the above. And so those are just some ideas. Like I said, my preference, what worked for me. And yeah, let me know if that makes sense. Let me know down in the comments, or let each other know maybe things that worked for you, things that didn't work for you. Everyone is so different. That's what I learned too with grief, and it's so different for everyone. Oh my gosh. I know I have friends who have lost a parent, or I should say their mom specifically, and they weren't close to them. And they're just like, well, yeah, whatever. And then everyone in between, some people have had maybe a little bit of a relationship, and they were like, yeah, that totally sucks. It was really sad. And then other people, extremely close, where it is very hard to deal with the grief and everything. I have friends going through it right now, and yeah, it's been over 8 years since my mom, and yeah, friends of mine have recently lost their moms. And yeah, let me know what you guys think and what your experience has been. And again, it might sound crazy, but that's just my opinion with what happened to me, and what not to say to someone who's grieving. Or if you do say it, follow up with a private message or maybe a phone call. If you guys, talk a lot, sometimes the grieving person can't even muster up enough energy and composure to talk on the phone, so texting or emails or messages might be best in this day and age. We have that ability to still contact people. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, that maybe that is what not to say to someone who's grieving, or maybe it's completely weird and odd and might not make sense to some people. But all right, well, I hope everyone's doing well, and God bless.